Last time we chatted with Abby Lampe, she had graduated from NC State, and she hurtled herself down the side of a hill chasing a wheel of cheese, and she came up victorious and no injuries. And then I saw on Instagram that she tried the Krispy Kreme challenge. And I thought to myself, okay, as if physical pain wasn't enough, let's go internal pain with the Krispy Kreme challenge, where you got to eat 12 donuts. Run 2.5 miles from the bell tower to the Krispy Kreme, eat 12 donuts, then run the 2.5 miles back. Abby Lampe joins us now on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Abby, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I've fully recovered from the Krispy Kreme challenge, digested enough.
So I want to talk about the Krispy Kreme challenge because I've done it too, so I'm curious how you played out. But seriously, what was actually more challenging? Just the immediate, quick, I'm hurtling myself down a hill, or what you did on Saturday here in Raleigh?
I mean, I think the Krispy Kreme challenge as a whole is more challenging because it's longer.
Mm-hmm.
The cheese rolling is only like 15 seconds, so it's just 15 seconds of pain. But the Krispy Kreme challenge is like a whole hour of pain.
Yeah.
I've seen the video, Abby, of you flying down this hill. And I get it. I'm projecting my 47-year-old bad back and all these other things onto it. But for real? The Krispy Kreme challenge was more difficult?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, you have to really eat the donuts at a fast pace, which is kind of difficult because there are 12 donuts. You're in the cold. This year, it was the coldest it's been in a really long time, I think. The wind chill was alone, like, I don't know. It was below 20, I feel like. And then I also do it in a big blue inflatable suit. So that causes a lot of drag. And so I'm not going very fast, but
why did you hold up?
First, we need the donut eating strategy, then whatever the blue suit.
Yeah, we'll get to the blue
about.
suit. Yeah.
What was your donut eating strategy? Did you just smash them together?
Yeah, you have to smash them.
Okay.
You cannot do the dunk water. I don't know whoever came up with that, but that person is a psycho because you will literally like start gagging if you do that. You have to smush 3 together. That's my strategy, and then just start chewing.
So when did you hit a wall? Because when I did the Krispy Kreme challenge a couple of years ago, after I got done with the third set of 3 smashed donuts, wanting to have the last, just my stomach was saying, what are you doing? Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. But I powered through some way, somehow. So when did you hit that donut wall?
Honestly, I think it's probably halfway through for me this time. But then I just had to keep going. And the last 3 were not that bad. It was the feeling of almost throwing up, but not quite. So the gag reflex. And then the people around me heard me gag a few times. I wasn't close to throwing up, but it's the reaction that they start, going away from me, walking away slowly.
Yeah, well, and then when you start running again, you make that turn. There's some folks who had managed to keep it down there at the Krispy Kreme, but then you start having to run around other people's throw up, and that could also trigger a reaction.
Yeah, it's an obstacle, an added obstacle.
So there's a blue inflatable suit?
Yeah, what's going on there?
So I've done this challenge 2 other times other than this time. So I run into this big blue inflatable costume. I post on my Instagram, but it has like an internal fan and I get really big. So it requires a lot of arm movement. Otherwise, it's a little bit more challenging, but it's kind of fun because it's a costume.
Mm-hmm. So you said, all right, so
why are you adding to the degree of
that's
difficulty?
The part that I'm finding difficult to process. But you said this was the 3rd time you did this. This is why I wanted to talk to you. Because when I saw you on Instagram say like the 3rd time's the charm, what happened the other 2 times?
I did them my freshman and sophomore year of college, and I had done like an hour and 8 and then like an hour and 14. So this year I was like, I am determined to do it under an hour. So I trained starting in the beginning of the year. I would eat dinner and then go for a run.
Oh, no, I could never do it. So what time did you finish?
I finished at 59:20.
Yes, I love it. Just
more satisfying that or being a cheese world champion.
Both are big accomplishments for me. Any food related race, I'm there.
Okay. Oh, have you tried the beer mile yet?
Oh no, I don't really like beer. Maybe if it was hard cider, I would do it, but
You could dump the beer on your head.
Could
instead
you
of
do?
drinking
All right.
it.
So tell you what. Could you do a beer? Like just chug one beer.
Okay, I guess I could if I really wanted to.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Joe?
I am,
All
but
right.
no blue suit though.
No blue suit. So there's the North Carolina Beer Mile. I've done the North Carolina Beer Mile now 3 times. I did it by myself,
which is crazy.
You chug a beer, a pint of beer, and then you run a quarter mile. Do that 4 times, right? And then I did it another year.
See, even
even Abby's like,
is
no,
like, whoa.
like I've gone down a hill for cheese. I've done the Krispy Kreme challenge, but now a beer. We're seeing what your limit is, Abby. So I'm proposing something. So I did it the first time by myself. I did it in 10 minutes. That might be my greatest athletic achievement. And then I did a 2-man relay with our old producer, Alec Campbell. We crushed it. We actually finished in the top 5 in the 2-man relay. And then a couple years ago, we did it as a group. It was me, it was Gilio, our old producer, Jonathan Rand, and Lauren Brownlow. And we did okay had it not been for Rand sipping his beer. So he had a pinky out and everything. So I'm wondering, would you be willing to join a 4-person relay? This happens in May. If you would be interested in joining our 4-person relay, and all you gotta do is chug a beer and run.
I would consider it.
Okay. I'll have our people get with your people.
Okay, great.
And this is you can start training, because if you said you ate a full dinner and ran, you could chug a beer and run a quarter mile. I believe in you.
It's a lot.
It's the beer part that I don't love, but
Okay.
I mean,
You can dump it on your head.
Yeah, that's the other option. Just done.
Okay.
Abby, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on doing the Krispy Kreme challenge. It is,
Thank you.
as somebody who's done it, it is brutal on your body. So when did the sugar crash happen?
Oh goodness, that was around 11:30. I went to my brother's for some bacon after the Krispy Kreme challenge because I needed something savory.
Yeah.
And then I took a nap because I was only running on 3 hours of sleep as well. I had driven back from Charlotte around midnight to the Scotty McCreery concert.
Oh, you went to go see Scotty McCreery. Totally
What if
worth
Scotty
it.
was our 4th in the beer mile? I don't know why you're laughing.
We can make it happen.
Make it happen.
All right, we'll make it happen. All right, so if we get Scotty, you're in. That's what I'm hearing.
If you get Scotty, I'll do it.
All right,
Okay.
well, we'll work on it. All right, Abby, we appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Abby Lampe, cheese champ, Krispy Kreme challenge finisher. You think Scotty will do it?
It's got potential. It depends on his touring
I guess
schedule.
it does depend on his touring schedule. We'll have to contact. Think Mike
The
Glennon?
beer is not the problem.
You think Glennon will do it?
Mikey G.
He
would not want to lose that time to me. That's for sure.
Oh no, he would lose the time to me.
To you, he would for sure.
Yeah.
But he would not want to lose to me.
I'd do it.
You would do it?
Yeah, I'd do
Okay. All right.
I'll be a 4th.
We'll have to see if we can work this out, because the beer mile happens around the same time as the ACC baseball tournament, so we have to coordinate on that. So you haven't tried the Krispy Kreme challenge, have you, Joe?
No, I can't run that.
Dennis,
far.
have you tried the Krispy Kreme
I have
challenge?
not. I might actually look to do it next year.
So my brother did it, and the problem that Abby had and the problem that my brother had is that it happened so cold. It was so cold overnight. Those donuts have been sitting out there overnight. So the reason why people end up dunking them in water is to soften them up. So
I don't do well around other people who are sick. I don't do well with that.
That was the biggest issue. I ended up doing the full 12 donuts and doing the run portion in around 58 minutes. I got it under an hour. I will say this. When I turned the corner and avoided all of the visual sickness, the sugar kicked in about a mile back, and it's like the greatest high, man. It like kicked in, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I'm good. And then you finish the race and your body hates you. That's when it's a real problem, is after the fact.